Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Wednesday, February the 1st, race number 8 at Gulfstream Park. We're going a mile on the turf. It's an optional claimer for Florida breds. Let's take a peek at this field, and I want to remind everybody, head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com, download those free Formulator past performances and handicap along with us in post-position order. The number 1 is Dynamite Kid, and Dynamite Kid needed 12 starts to win his maiden. And when he did do it, it was against 12 fives on synth in slow time. He's got to improve.
I'm usually intrigued with these types. Not intrigued with this one. I just don't think he's good enough.
Just a tough spot. You have to wonder if maybe getting back to the synth and finding weaker down the road at Woodbine is the key. This barn does do good work, however. The 2 is Bowtie Affair for trainer Pat Reynolds. This horse has a win at Gulfstream and is shipping down from the Naira circuit after finishing second to Indebted in an open $40,000 claiming race. The 4th finisher of that race came back to run second against open 1Xs at Gulfstream, popped an 86 buyer. That field, I think, was a little bit better than the one he's facing here.
Agreed completely. You just look at that field, whether you believe that, Gulfstream is really what he wants, if he maybe wants some cut in the ground, whatever the case may be, he's just been facing better horses. Now the run 2 back, that field has come back weak, but at the same time, look, the way that he finished in that most recent start, if he runs like that, he's going to be a handful in here.
Number 3 is Completely Bonkers. Completely Bonkers was in a similar spot on December the 9th, was bet down to 9-5 favoritism, and I really couldn't find the excuse. He kind of had a good trip under Louis Saez. Maybe the pace wasn't fast enough for him, but he came with his run and he finished evenly in between horses. If Completely Bonkers runs that race, he's a factor, but I wouldn't love him at a shortish price.
No, I think you're supposed to use this horse underneath, though. I don't know that you
even
can trust
I would use him in a pick.
Yeah, somewhere. Probably somewhere, but I agree with you. He had every opportunity. I suppose I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say the pace was a little bit soft and maybe he needed a little bit more to run at, but I agree, he had his chance.
The number 4 is Very Stella, who's been the beaten favorite in 2 out of his last 3 races, but a very sharp trainer is taking the blinkers off. Very Stella had won something like 4 in a row, 5 out of 6. Momentum got stopped. Now it's the 3rd start of the form cycle. Where does he fit at this level? He got beat for 16 last time.
Yeah, I don't think he's this good, to be honest with you. And it's also worth noting, he ripped off 4 wins in a row. That was at the softest Gulfstream meet. That's when all the good horses and all the big connections, they ship out, whether you go to Kentucky, you go to New York, or you go elsewhere. There's just a part of me that doesn't think he's this good.
The number 5, Fast Fire, is eligible to improve because the last race was his first start in about 7 months. He ran into an okay field. Second off the layoff, I can certainly see this horse improving. He ran a 74 buyer as a 3-year-old in May. He's on the fringe of my contender lists.
Yeah, I was torn with him because I looked at it and said, well, he didn't do any running in that return effort. And like you say, second off the bench, maybe he's going to move forward. For what it's worth, Phil Gleave's past 3 years, second off the bench, 1 for 28, 6 in the money with a 59-cent ROI. I needed to see something. I didn't see enough.
6 is Beneficiary, one of 2 in here dropping out of the Sunshine Millions turf. Both of those horses were overmatched against a very promising runner in our way. Beneficiary was beaten 19 lengths, but the race prior to that, he was a winner at 31-1. He has nice tactical speed. He needs to run a little faster.
He does. I wanted to see a little bit more. I understand he was way over his head most recently, and I don't want to hold it against him, but I wanted to see a little bit of something that gave me indication that this is going to be more appropriate. He was all out for a half mile, and he just was going evenly. The class relief obviously helps his cause, but I'm not entirely sure that he's quite this good even.
I think the 7, Prince Vincenzo's getting some class relief as well, and he also has that second off the layoff angle for a trainer, Phil Serpi, that sent out some live horses from limited opportunities at Gulfstream Park. Now, Prince Vincenzo hasn't won in a while, but he hasn't been this cheap in a while either.
Yeah, and he's also going back and facing Florida breds for the first time since he ran the Sunshine Millions last year, and then if you go prior to that, he ran as a 2-year-old against Florida breds, so he usually has been in open company. I thought the most recent start was good. It wasn't going to blow you away when you watch the replay, but he was trying and he was making up ground late. Maybe the turn back to a mile is a little bit sharp. Ideally, if this was at a mile and 16th, I'd love him. I just think with that class relief, if he runs that race, I think he's got a big chance.
Let's take a look at our Timeform US pace projector for our Wednesday race of the day, and we have the 8 Niche going to the front, and that's no surprise. Niche has been on the lead in his last 4 races. He now switches to Javier Castellano. He's getting back to a mile. The problem is, I don't know, he sort of fits with Completely Bonkers. I guess he'll be a little bit of a better price, and if you think he can kind of get away with a nice easy lead, fine, but doesn't Javier hurt your price?
Javier hurts your price, and I have to be honest, as much as we all respect Javier, What else
not
can
a
have?
miracle worker?
Well, what else can he do to help this horse? I don't think Nick Juarez rode this horse poorly at all. He cut out soft fractions, and in each of the past two, he just spit the bit. He didn't want to go on with it. I mean, he's just one that if he wins, I lose.
9 total joint is an interesting enough runner for a shrewd trainer in Jason Service. Put him on turf for the first time at Monmouth. All in all, I thought the horse had a decent trip inside. He was stopped a little bit when he swung into the stretch, still had every chance, and he was only beaten a nose. You could argue those horses are certainly better than the ones he's facing here. Then a little bit of a layoff. He came back at 7.5, and he just didn't fire at all. Another layoff here. The layoffs are the thing that bothers me the most with total joint, but he switches to Paco Lopez, who's in good form. This horse has races. The question is he better on turf or dirt?
The layoffs certainly are a concern. I'm also a little bit dubious. I wanted to love this horse, but when I went back and watched it, it's worth noting, he faced about 5 common foes in that Gulfstream West race, and there was no excuse. Down on the inside, it opened up, he tried to kick, and he was just even down the lane, then he's been gone for months now. I picked him 4th in here. I'm not going to be surprised if he runs well just because it is Service and Paco, but I wanted to like him more than I do.
Starship Zorro ran a solid enough race in the Sunshine Millions turf. He's never going to beat those horses.
No.
He was only beaten 8 or 9 lengths. He got the same fig he earned, 2 starts back for 16. This is the kind of horse that needs a little bit of pace up front, but he's a 7-year-old, he's a hard hitter, and he'll be a price.
He'll be a price, and you know what? He's won 8 of 45. I can't really knock that, but it's worth noting. His past 3 victories have all come against open 12-5s. I don't think he's as good.
The pace projector at the 11, Salsa Dog, up close to the pace, prompting Niche in second, and maybe that'll work out because the argument could be made. His most recent start on turf at Tampa was against better horses. The runner-up came back to win on dirt, an allowance race with an 86 buyer. The third finisher came back to run second on turf, an allowance race with an 80 buyer. Those are solid horses, and last time out, just 5 on the dirt's not this horse's game.
No, I
Then again.
I guess maybe he could just go out there and try to blow this thing open from the start. Past 5 years for this trainer, dirt to turf, over 15, only one of them hit the board. He's just not for me.
Let's take a look at our top selections for race number 8 at Gulfstream Park on Wednesday. The favorite in here, at least on the morning line, is the number 3, Completely Bonkers. Matt, you're going with the 7, Prince Vincenzo, 12-1 on the morning line.
If he can just get a little bit of pace to help him out, you know Niche is going to be out there. The outside horse is probably going to be forward. I'm afraid that he's going to have to come from a little bit too far back, but I really believe if he runs back to that most recent start, second off the bench for a sharp conditioner, I think he's got a chance.
I'm using that horse as well. Matt's numbers are 7, 2, 3, and 9. I prefer the 2, Bow Tie Affair. I think from a class standpoint, it's going to work out. He draws a nice, comfortable inside post with enough tactical speed that maybe he can work out a really good trip under Tyler Gaffalione. I went 2, 3, 7, and 4. If you are playing the Wednesday Gulfstream Park card from home, $300 sign-up bonus. Just waiting for you at drf.com/trifecta. Join DRF Bets for a huge bonus. Approximate post time for race number 8 at Gulfstream on Wednesday, 4:02 Eastern. Good luck.